I want to talk about Glastonbury. Worthy Farm. Are we worthy?
We're worthy, and as I said, we were going to play several stages. So it's a shame that we're not there, but we'll see you next year, Glastonbury. The funny thing actually about this.
Hang on, that's a lie. I will not see fake news. I will not use this platform to peddle fake news, Edward.
Mate,
we missed out on the bill this year.
Fake news.
We missed out on the bill this year, but we had nothing released. It's fair enough.
Well,
next year, though.
The best thing that's come of this Glastonbury experience is of the Glastonbury being cancelled
is FOMO.
Well, yeah, there's that, but also the fact that Tom, you and I didn't have tickets, but Dougal.
Yeah.
Nice.
So when I was 15,
what happened to that little agreement?
Tom and I agreed that we never go to Glastonbury until we were asked to play.
Fuck, you'll be waiting a while, mate.
Wow.
Yeah. And you got tickets, which makes me a little suspicious that you've started a solo project.
9 years later, and I just couldn't. Sorry, Tom, couldn't hack it. I had to go.
This is karma.
Wait, so really? Dougal, was this going to be your first Glastonbury?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, take it from the maestro.
Yeah. Come on, Mr. Master.
Mr. Glastonbury.
Tell us about it. What's it like?
Such a shame for you, mate. Well,
what's it like, Ed?
Well, guys, I went for the first time last year. Boiling hot, absolutely beautiful. I went and I saw a lot of acts that I'd really wanted to see. I went to see some contemporaries.
Did you check out Tame Impala?
I did check out Tame Impala. I also saw the Killers. Cried.
Ooh.
And I wouldn't say I was a big Killers fan.
Well, they said that about that Killers set.
Sounds like you're a pretty big Killers
fan. They said that
was
redemption. You know why?
Why?
Because they headlined in 2007 and the sound was rubbish. So they came back to win and they won, clearly.
Well, yeah, it was good sound.
They already did another set.
No,
in between.
They did a secret set.
When they did that, you play twice. One on your way up, one on the way down.
Yeah, that was a John Peel stage. And he was lying, actually, because
they played again.
They headlined it next year.
Coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all.
That's what they always say about Glastonbury. It's a magical place.
Yeah, well, you'll find out one day, mate.
Find out next year. Well, do you think we'll be playing next year? I mean, the problem is, though, the issue we've got, though, lads, is that they've just rolled on the lineup to next year.
Everyone.
Yeah, everyone.
Even like small fry.
Yeah, even the small fries.
It's the fairest thing to do.
Yeah, I'd be
pissed off.
I'd be pooped. I'd be absolutely pooped. Imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine if this was the first year we got to play Glastonbury and this. Sorry.
I think something that could be extremely cool is if we if we flew over Worthy Farm in a biplane
while Glastonbury was going on,
and the three of us, the five of us. I don't know what Jake could do with his kit, but the five of us jump out, immediately pull the parachute, and play a set for as long as we can remain airborne with massive speakers.
Security waiting,
and no one can do anything about it.
No one can hear it. No one will be able to hear it. It's a lovely idea. I think even better though. Why don't we just rent a fly plane and? So that's bitter though.
Yeah.
All these lovely people having a great time. I think that would have a negative reaction on your band.
Junodream up at the top.
Also, if you don't know what the hell's a junodream, come to think about it. What's a junodream? What is a junodream, Tom?
You tell me.
I know what junodream is.
It's us.
Oh, I was going to say something else.
What are you going to say?
Well, it sounds silly now.
No.
It's the culmination of all of our lives together in a mixing pot, and all of our angst, emotional insecurity, and positivity, and creativity, all in one space.
So it's us. That's what I said originally.
Oh right. I didn't actually.
I do like the way he's saying it though.
Oh, it's much better. Yeah.
Well, I was at risk of waffling then, but
I think you were. I think
right.
You risked and you did waffle.
Thanks.
Well, I think everything's going to be back to normal for our show at O'Meara on the
October the
9th.
9th. Is it?
Yes,
I just don't trust you dates.
I'm bad
your
with
track
dates.
record.
Yeah. But maybe we don't use this podcast actually to
promote
sell
ourselves.
Tickets. That's quite sleazy.
This isn't about us.
It is quite sleazy.
This podcast is not about us.
I'm quite embarrassed actually that you even said that.
That was quite sneaky.
Yeah. Well,
but while we're not playing,
wait,
you
hold
can
on,
also
hold
buy
on.
our merch.
Dougal.
Sorry.
All right, don't come to the show on the 9th of October in solidarity for non-sleazy marketing.
Yeah, fair enough. Actually, don't come.
Don't come.
That was quite bad.
We don't want to see you. No, we do want to see you, but don't come.
Yeah, do come. I'm just sorry. Links below.
We've just released our cover of Pink Floyd song
The Floyd.
Fearless. Why Fearless? Why do we pick Fearless?
Well, we've got a long-running history with Pink Floyd because back when we didn't have, we used to be called Paint,
Paint
which was a terrible name, and we spent a couple of months trying to think of one, and we had the deadline that night, and we thought, well, how do bands think of names? Radiohead, we like Radiohead. What do they do?
Steal from someone else.
Talking Heads, B-side, you know,
Rolling Stones.
What?
Bob Dylan tune.
like a Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
Really?
And so who's got
steal it from
who's
Bob
probably
Dylan?
who's got one of the biggest
He's got the biggest.
who's got one of the biggest discographies of all time, with some pretty obscure ones on there. Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd.
And so what do? We went on there. Julia Dream, lovely song. Shout out to Tom. How about Julia Dream? He said, "Give me a minute."
I was upstairs and in bed.
Give me a minute.
Don't know why that's relevant.
Juno Dream! And then he said Juno Dream. And that's how we came up with the name Juno Dream. Shout out Ben, our manager, who came on board.
Ben Scary.
Ben Carey, aka Dad, aka Ben Scary, aka
Daddy.
Daddy. Daddy!
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
He has a mustache and a beard.
Anyway, he loves Pink Floyd and he showed us the track Fearless. And I thought, screw it, let's do it. And so we did it.
Beautiful.
And how's it sounding? Well, you can't answer that.
You already know.
But the thing about a cover, though, I guess, is what I'm thinking is how do you think we, obviously with a cover, you don't want to just play it 'cause then you're a tribute act. How have we changed Fearless? You know, what's our stamp on it?
There's definitely a nice little bit of Ebo in there.
Tom, what is an Ebo?
I don't know how it works. It's magic. It's just a little device you put on your guitar and it sounds like a
Electronic
sort of,
bow is what it stands for.
Well, I was getting there. I was going. I was giving a little
time
context.
For that, Tom. Come on.
It's electronic
chop.
bow. Makes it sound like an
electric cello.
cello. Cello. You got a bass.
It sounds like this. It's very disgusting and it makes you want to cry.
Space rocky. Hey?
Yeah, space rocky.
So I'd say our imprint on it is obviously the Ebo, bit space rocky. Ed, your tender vocals, a bit different to old David Gilmour's.
I tried to make them sound like his, but just he's
Very different.
Just a little bit better. They've got these like weird little flourishes that they do in all of like all of the.
They speak very proper, like they've always just come from the word
What's that
time.
bit? It go down in your.
Whoa,
nice
pipes,
moving around.
Wow.
Yeah.
Save it for the record, my friend.
You heard it here first.
Well, what I like about it is a very sad but also quite happy song, which I feel like, resonates with us. It's nice, slow BPM, sits around the 80 mark, personal favourite. No, 63.
Oh,
73.
baby. What I don't really get about the song though is the first half of the lyrics, you feel like you're going in a direction. It's they're talking about the hill. And then it just goes to like being in a court with a magistrate.
So I think the idea is that
Just don't get it, man. Just don't get it.
He's basically he's been regged by someone, who's mocking him for not being able to climb the hill. Stop being lazy, climb the hill. This person's saying,
get it done.
And he's saying that you're essentially like a big fat king that everyone hates.
Right.
And as you know, the crowd don't like you.
I still don't really get it. It's a bit too obscure
With
for
great
me.
power comes great responsibility, Ed.
Oh, right. No, okay, I do understand it. Is that
Yeah.
what you're trying to say?
No. Maybe.
With great power I remember... Do you remember when my uncle Ben said that to me a few years ago?
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Were you not there?
Was I there?
My Uncle Ben, he said... We were... I can't remember what we were doing. He was on the ground at the time, I think. But he said to me...
You had a stroke.
Do you not remember this?
On the ground?
I feel like I told you this at the time. So my Uncle Ben...
After I knocked him cold.
Well, no,
Wait,
he was on the
underground?
ground in pain. He'd been shot basically by a mugger.
Oh.
And
I was definitely not there.
yeah, and he was on the ground and he said to me, he looked up at me and he said, "Peter, with great
power
comes great responsibility."
responsibility.
Since then, yeah. Since then, I've always kind of lived by that. I'm like, just gonna go quickly.
Oh, this is terrible.
I'm convinced he's a spy.
No. No, edit. That could get him killed.
Okay, fine. Okay, one segment of the
Actually,
story.
the safest place for anyone to announce it is probably the Junodream
In the
podcast.
Junodream podcast.
Yeah.
Let me paint the picture. We're in a rehearsal studio. Nothing. We're squeezing the tree, but there ain't no sap. We're all a bit,
Sappy Tom came in.
and then old Sappy Tom came in. Enter stage left.
Guys, I got an idea.
Honestly, it's really good.
Shut up, Tom.
Yeah, we'll go.
Not a never. Not another banger from Tom.
Another banger from
I don't
Tom.
believe it.
Let's call it a day, lads. We're packing up our stuff, and then suddenly,
Yeah. In it comes. I was like,
That
Phyllis,
famous
Phyllis.
bass line which will run through the ages.
you're a genius.
Yeah, I think I am.
Bloody hell.
Oh, I don't like I don't even like this as a joke.
It's like taking the piss with Chris Martin, no?
Yeah, get it?
Right, but I actually like Chris Martin, so it's not, I don't like Tom.
It was a bit like what was I actually playing beforehand? I was playing Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, the song in it, which is fucking Hushabye Mountain.
Oh, I'm hearing a bit of that.
Yeah, you're hearing a lot of it.
From Hushabye Mountain.
What are the lyrics? What do the lyrics mean, Ed?
Turntable.
Oh, they just came to me.
Well,
My cat died.
so it wasn't really a lockdown song lyrically, but then it makes more sense now that lockdown's happened. I kind of see it as we're coming out of lockdown. The only presence that anyone's had has been their online selves, really, in the real life. And now it'll be interesting to see how people will react to each other now that they can see each other in person. Are people desperate for sort of validation from other people now more than they were before?
It's about security.
The verse about breaking your arms again, and they heal like that, so it stands to reason that I should live inside, get verified.
This guy in the second verse is like going slightly mad and thinks he's a computer. If you didn't read into that, I don't know how you didn't read into it.
Pretty
It's
obvious.
riddled throughout the song, but that's what's happening in the song. But he's turning into a computer because he wants an easy life, and he realizes that he can break his arms, but they just heal right back. It's sort of a double metaphor because that's actually what just happens, but also because he's virtual. And then it stands to reason he's just trying to make any excuse so that he can live inside, and then he gets verified like you get on Instagram.
Oh, I see. So I thought it was like a Johnny Cash, I hurt myself today to know that I would feel.
But again,
It's all these nuances.
again, that is the point of it. That
He meant many a thing.
He's trying
in that
to.
line.
He's gone mad. So he's trying to figure out if he's still there, and he breaks his arms again. But he's confused that they grow back because
Must
the
have
point
hurt.
is, yeah.
You know what? I'm about to say it. I don't care that you broke your elbow.
We also did two versions of the song. So we did a sort of one which
Very
was
quick
slightly
version.
faster, which we thought was the tits, and then we listened back and it sounded like a Robbie Williams anthem. No bad thing, but when you're trying to be an indie artist.
Comment below if you want the Robbie Williams version.
I'll comment.
And then we made it really slow. I was actually listening to it the other day. I thought we might have made it too slow.
Oh, Tom, it's out now and it's already a massive hit. So
Yeah, the number one doesn't lie. People want slow. If anything, I've learnt from my years of
They want
experience.
long,
They
slow.
want long intros and slow music.
Wait, let me just check who we will have knocked off the post. Hang on, this is quite important.
Wait, so you're going to look at a future
I'm
number
gonna,
one?
I'm going to look at the charts because it'll be out on Friday. So I'm just going to look at who's sort of number one Billboard charts. I'm just going to I'll tweet.
It might be AJ Tracy.
Who? How do I not know
Don't-
that?
no,
You say that
I
as a
wouldn't-
big fan.
I wouldn't say, yeah, actually.
Go on,
Tell us more.
name 5 songs. What inspired Easy Life? Well, we were listening to lots of our favourite artists: Sigur Rós, Sven Genglar.
Sven Gelagen.
Spectacular.
Well, what I like about Sigur Rós is that they just made up a language. You know,
It's called Swedish.
No. They're from Manchester.
He's best mates with Fergie.
Anyway, come on. Let me get back to it. So I read their Wikipedia page. You know, it's just what you do when you get into a band. Read their Wikipedia page.
I think you listen to their music.
We don't. Oh, fair edit.
Thanks, man. I'll check that band out.
Anyway.
On Wikipedia.
On Wikipedia. Oh, sound like a cool band.
Yeah. Great
Better go back
backstory.
to what I was doing.
Yeah, it's like after a gig, it's like, do you want to buy a record? No, but you got a Wikipedia
You got a
page.
Wikipedia page. I'd love to read it.
Oh, just going through my granddad's old collection of Wikipedia pages of bands. Anyway, I was going through the Wikipedia page, and Hoppy Polo, half of it's made up. It's just he just made up this sort of ice. It's actually Icelandic as well. Come on,
All right.
You
Bloody hell. Fine.
Anyway, so it's a sort of Icelandic /
Sorry
made
for
up
not speaking
fairy
both.
speak. And I kind of think, you know, if you're not bad at lyrics, that's one way to get around it. Will it go to our heads? Has it gone to our heads?
I think it's already gone to my head.
I mean, we've just circle jerked about a track for 30 minutes. Oh, how great we are!
I think there was a fair balance of opinions about the track. Some bits we love, some bits we hate, some bits we just don't understand.
Which bits do you hate?
None of it.
No. It's a circle jerk.
Yeah.
Rishi Sunak invest in our futures. Please help us.
Yeah.
Oh, another verse.
Cut that shit out, Tom.
Come to our shows eventually.
All right, episode 5 of the podcast.
Wow.
And we'll be talking about live music because we've just broken the news that our gigs are cancelled for the rest of the year.
You what?
I'm telling you, they're cancelled.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
rubbish.
It's rubbish.
Sorry, mum.
Yeah, we'll have to give refunds out to those 4 people.
Well, I guess, do we say that refund, for anyone who's bought a ticket, you're welcome to a refund. It's not advisable.
Yeah, but
not
if you
it's
take
not ideal.
if you take a refund,
We have your names.
what are people supposed to do? Like, if you lived. Fortunately for us, we weren't really in a position where live touring income was supporting us fully. So it wasn't a massive issue
At all, really.
At all. Yeah, I mean,
Well, it's costing us
There's
everything.
negative. Yeah. Again, the account's not looking so sweet.
Well, here's the problem, right? Here's the problem which everyone's been speaking about. It shows how fragile our music industry is right now. The way musicians make money. I'm looking at the streaming services. I'm looking at you, Daniel Eck.
Daniel.
Yeah. Master Eck.
Danny boy.
I'm looking at you, Tim Cook. The head of Deezer. Looking at you as well, whoever you are.
So yeah, Daniel Eck takes a piece.
Monsieur Deezer takes the
Takes just a little taste, Mr. Deezer. I only want a small taste of your profit. Huh? You sound like a wafer thing. Huh?
That's not good.
But anyway, not making much money from the band. But one of the income sources that we did have was live music, and now that's gone. So all we've got is merch. If you've seen us mercilessly peddling the merch,
Yeah, we've got mugs now. We've got postcards. We've got it's like Disney World.
but I think it's not all doom and gloom. I think we should cast our eye back to some of our good gig experiences in the past. Any jump to mind, lads?
Well, I feel like we've had our fair share of bad gig stories. My favourite, of course, when we were a bit younger.
Is this the backstage?
Well, yeah, don't ruin it, Tom. It's a story. We're playing the Barfly. I mean, we're a bit younger at this point. We're in our first band, and we used to sort of do quite cringe encores then. So we finished our last song, and in the Barfly there are two doors, one which leads up to the backstage, and the other is a little cupboard on the side of the stage.
Little cleaning cupboard.
So Ed leads us off straight into what he thinks is the stairs going up to the backstage, and it's straight into the cupboard. So meanwhile,
we couldn't all fit in.
We all sort of follow in there. We all kind of bump into each other, and poor Jake can't even fit.
We can't even close the door.
So everyone in the crowd's like,
what are they doing?
What are they doing? We're like, fuck, we're in the fucking cupboard. We're fucking encore. What do we do?
We couldn't even turn around and face the right way, so we backed out back onto the stage to play the encore.
Oh,
the encore no one wanted.
I would honestly pay a lot of money to see that happen.
Yeah, same.
Just like, if you could get a time, I'd love to see that moment happen, but from a sort of angry fan point of view. I think that would just like, it would be so funny. Bunch of idiots.
Another bad one, we played at Cafe 101 in Brick Lane.
Oh, God.
And a lovely...
couple of things that night.
A guy called James Gillespie was on before us, and he was this very charismatic Irish guy, and he was swinging his guitar around, playing loop pedals.
Not the only thing he was swinging.
He got the crowd into a massive frenzy, and then he had his beer in his hand. He was like, "Who's drinking?" And everyone was like, "Yeah, we're all drinking." And it was amazing. I bought a CD afterwards. And then we were up next. I was like, God, that guy had a lot of energy. Everyone's feeling good in the crowd. I'll carry this on. Just got up there after the first song. I wasn't holding a drink. I just turned to the crowd. We played some sort of mellow intro song. I turned to the crowd, like, "Who's drinking?" And one guy at the front just looked up at me and was like, "Yeah, we're in a bar, mate." And then same gig. Tom, tell us what happened with you.
Oh God, that gig was awful.
This is a lesson in ego.
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce...
Towards the end of the set, I thought, all right, guitar solo coming out. I was really feeling it, you know. We got over the earlier bumps that we'd had, and I was like, yeah, fucking feeling this one. You know what? I'm gonna get out there, get stuck in with the crowd, really loving it. But right on the side of stage where I was on the right side, there's a big pillar, which obviously I've got to go around. I was like, well, I'll just go around that and then into the crowd. And then just before the solo, I go back behind the pillar and then just feel a big tug, which is my guitar lead, and it won't go any further. So I'm stuck behind the pillar, like next to the toilets doing a guitar solo. And it was like,
absolutely miserable.
Where's the guitarist?
Where's he gone?
Where's that huge solo coming from? You just have to play it by yourself. The big moment. That'll teach you, Tom.
That'll
guitar solos.
You stay on the stage like the rest of us.
You stay behind the pillar.
Hey, nice. Alright, so that's the end of the podcast. You already know this by now, but we've cancelled all the shows for the rest of the year. We moved them to April. Hey!
Woo! 2021.
Yeah, so 2021, guys, what is it? The year of...
Live.
The year of love.
Stay like that. Save that for the year of live. On guard, Mr. Egg. This is not over. People like use your experience.
Are we boring you, Dukes?
No, I'm just trying to find some.
He's reading
I'm trying to find some topics to talk
Oh wait,
about.
hold on, mate. What magazine is that right there?
Oh, I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Dork.
Oh, it's Dork.
Well, I only bought it just because they've got some really great artists in it this month. I mean, off the top of my head, it's got Shane, Biba Doobie, Boy Pablo, Junodream, Marika.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, what was that? What was that one?
Boy Pablo.
No, one before that.
Junodream.
Junodream. What page is that on?
Surprised they made it.
Front page. Oh no, it's not. It's on
front page of 43.
The front page of page 43. What does it say?
Junodream.
Yeah. What else?
Next paragraph.
All right. Chapter 1. Last year, shoegaze fivesome. Juno. That's quite saucy.
We're fivesome now.
Dirty shoegaze fivesome.
This is a page turner already.
Stop listening, mum. Okay, so last year, shoegaze fivesome Junodream spun their woozy 90s indebted slow jams.
Slow jams?
Yeah, hold on a sec. What do they mean by slow jams? And what do they mean by...
dreary?
What does it say about us?
All right, so this is Dork, issue 49.
And what quote have they used with us? What's
Okay.
that big quote that they liked?
It says, how are you feeling about your April tour? Do you think gigs in that will be back to normal? Quote, nervous as hell. Will we be able to play our instruments? Will we be able to play? We don't have the answers, but we're hopeful. Oh, it's not that funny, is it?
No, it's not. We could have done a tiny bit better than that.
PR. What have you got to say about PR?
PR.
Public relations.
What does it stand for?
Well,
sorry, you just said public relations. But why does everyone? Do bands really need it? Are we supposed to be like really raw? Because I think for the way we come across, sometimes we pretend to ourselves that we're doing sort of anti-PR, but I think it's just because we don't really know what to say to other people.
Curveball. When you see bands, though, you hear of bands being like, yeah, this band's sick, they're so anti-PR. Where have you heard about that, though? Usually
From the
in the PR.
No. They've got us. But which magazines are we talking about? Obviously, Dork, our new... We got... Dork.
We could talk about our version of Pitchfork.
Bitchpork.
Bitchpork. What's Bitchpork? Well... We take all the mean articles Pitchfork have done about albums we like and we rewrite them, saying where they've gone wrong. An example, Alt J's first album, about 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10?
Rightly so.
4 out of 10.
Oh, I'm joking. I love you guys.
But then it's so inconsistent because then you get Mac DeMarco's third LP, which was okay, but it wasn't like particularly adventurous. 9 out of 10.
To some extent, are you preempting a bad article from them?
We can rewrite our own one.
Yeah, well, exactly. Once we set up Bitchpork, then we own the media.
So, listeners, we're in the grip of the second lockdown.
Whoa,
but,
hang on.
Well, I think by now we might be... We're recording this in advance, obviously, but I think we have to basically, every time we record this, we have to sort of plan ahead.
Right, yeah, go on.
As to what we think's going to happen, in the world about... Because it takes me about a week to...
Your predictions for the world in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah,
go.
Exactly.
Right, start again. Let's go.
So we should be now at time of publishing in a second lockdown.
Kim Jong-un has fantastically found a vaccine.
Yeah,
and has decided to share it with the world.
Has got a vaccine
generously.
Have you seen recently the Russians have been posting this ad campaign that the American vaccine turns into a monkey?
That would explain Jake.
We already knew that though. I don't know why they need an ad campaign for
Fucking
it.
hell.
We knew it.
Monkey Jake.
But yeah, so there's all kinds of stuff going around. I for one won't be taking the vaccine because I don't want to risk it. The Russians are sometimes right on these things. But yeah, I don't really fancy being turned into a chimp.
How long's the lockdown going to be? Take a bet. When it takes
wait.
20
Actually, hold on. Let's take an actual cash money bet now. That it's
we've
put
got evidence
out.
of it.
Yeah. So I reckon...
Wait, hang on. Should we do it in song royalty rights?
No. I want more money than that.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'll put 20 quid on the lockdown finishing at the end of January.
Ooh.
But you didn't say when it starts.
No, it's already started.
Yeah, we're in the future.
Okay, what date is it? What's the day today?
The 4th of November.
4th of November.
The national lockdown has started now.
Okay. I'm going to say that the national lockdown, the phase 1 of the lockdown, has ended on the 23rd of December.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Okay.
Because I think the lockdown will be longer, but they'll do some sort of like mini break.
Fine.
I hope we are locked down forever.
Misery grey.
Give us a tenner each right now.
I'll give you a tenner each. What do I think? I think we're going. I've got to go longer. Ed made the sensible bet. Tom's got intel in the government, clearly, because that was far too accurate. I'm going to say February. We're going to go right to February.
Lads, importantly,
just in
it's
time.
Not finishing. It's going to finish just in time for our massive tour. Hey! So we've got a tour in
2021.
2021. Who knows the dates off the top of their heads?
April 15th. Leeds.
16th, Manchester.
17th, Birmingham.
Couple of days off. And then it's the 21st in Brighton.
April 22nd, we head back to London to play O'Meara.
23rd, it's our false hometown, it's Bristol.
April 24th, the land of my cousins, Southampton.
April the 28th, the land of my future wife, Guildford.
Lucky boy.
April 30th.
April showers.
What happens on April 30th?
Your birthday!
Hey! But more importantly, just before the tour on April the 11th, we'll be nursing our hangovers after my birthday.
Most importantly, on the 20th of April, it is.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
You know, I'm grateful I get to sit in a crusty shed with my two friends who I've been friends with for 10 years, not going anywhere
Didn't
at all.
say best friends, so did you?
Oh, two of my best friends.
Didn't say best friends. And I'm just going to leave it here, mate.
We're...
Fuck you.
Oh. Good work. Shabby Road's taken a turn for the worst. She's all out of power and she's freezing and there's no lights and it's not a very conducive environment for a nice conversation or a good tune for that matter.
Well, I think it wasn't very nice before it lost the power.
Shabby's it's got a charm.
Yeah, but I mean,
it was called Shabby Road for a reason.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
It's a bit nice.
There's no Abbey.
I do feel a lot more positive in this room, I've got to say.
We're in a new room. It's very nice.
Nice. I'm saying it's a nice holiday from Shabby Road.
Yeah, it is. I do feel more relaxed here.
Bloody hell, guys! What? This is we're really going in on Shabby Road.
Well, it's just
I spend my life in there.
You do actually. You have spent your life in there, and
I was born in there.
You were born in Shabby Road. You were plopped out in Shabby Road
and
underneath the piano.
In Shabby Road.
Yeah, hopefully.
I'll make sure of that.
Yeah. But I guess that we do live and die in that room, and that brings us on to our release, Eden Burns. I mean, it's been so long since we did our last podcast, but Eden Burns is genuinely feels like an epoch ago. You know, everyone knows the song now. Everyone knows where the origins of the music. You know, it's become one of those great songs now. I think one of the interesting things for us was the radio premiere.
Radio 1, Junodream, our next wave tonight. For next wave for me on the show, they are Junodream.
Junodream.
From Junodream.
Junodream.
They carry that same kind of like calm, ethereal, but also at the same time totally chaotic energy of someone maybe like
Radiohead.
Pink Floyd. The Maccabees.
Also just a girl standing up for I thought my jokes were bad.
Yeah, so Eden Burns is out in the world, and I mean it's viral.
It's divisive.
In this sort of anthology of Junodream songs, I put it right up there with one of the best.
we're just circle jerking again.
Yeah.
About ourselves. Someone's got to balance it. I think it's rubbish.
Props have to go for sticking Holocene into a song. I think that was you, Dougal.
We got it in there.
Yeah. I was impressed by that.
Took a bit of shoving around, but we got it in there.
Yeah. Demos sent forward called Holocene.
Holocene.
Just trying to get it in.
Bon Iver can suck one.
Well, what I love about this song is it's set in the context of a house party, isn't it? Isn't it set in like a house party?
Yeah,
you're having a conversation.
Two people having an
Yeah,
argument.
but it's funny because we don't get invited to any house parties, so it's almost like a leaf out someone else's book, isn't it?
This probably doesn't happen at
Yeah.
house parties. People argue about climate change.
Whatever, man. I don't care about anything.
Oh, you don't care about the environment? It's kind of fucked up.
What about the other song that we released? The absolute chart-topping smash hit, Travel Guide. Ooh. Yeah.
That's not Marmite. That's just a straight 10 out of 10.
That's a straight 10 out of 10.
That's just 11.
If Eden Burns was a 9.5 out of 10, this is definitely a 9.6.
What condiment would Travel Guide be?
It's your bread and butter.
Relish.
That bread and butter is pretty boring.
Huh? But it's a game changer.
But hang on, what's the moral of the song though?
So it's about two things really. It was about travel, the travel industry being I don't know, exploitative and shit. And then the other one was really about not being able to actually escape your mental health issues. So all in all, it's pretty a horrible song about quite dark and unpleasant themes, which just seems to be a running gag with us, isn't it?
Yeah, it's classic. Yeah, it seems really nice, and then actually it's horrible.
But actually, yeah, the underlying stuff is incredibly sinister and not very pleasant. And I can tell you for free, it doesn't change with the rest of this release that we're about to put out. So more of the same. I think it's kind of poignant right now because we're not able to go anywhere. I mean, what do you guys think? Have you got any summer plans?
Nope. None. No.
No, I mean, how could you make them?
Yeah.
I've made plans.
Oh, you idiot!
Planning to go to Greece with 16 people.
That sounds nice, man. It's never going to happen, but
yeah, I don't think it is going to happen now. I was supposed to be
bit
in
like
late
Travel
July.
Guide, really. Did it even happen?
Did it even? Was all? Actually, I've only just really realised that in the video. It's like. It's cheap storytelling. Yeah. it's like, but it was all a dream.
Yeah, did it ever happen? You've only got 3 minutes and a pretty small budget.
But it was all. Oh, it is. Oh, I'm actually second now when I think about it.
It's so ambiguous.
It was all a dream.
Unfortunately, lads, we've had to start rehearsing again. It's been a year.
Oh, we hate rehearsals.
It's been a year, and we've spent this weekend rehearsing. It was gone better than expected, to be honest.
Why the fuck you lying?
We've blown the cobwebs out, scraped the rust off. But I mean, what do you guys think?
I thought it actually went surprisingly well. I thought I was going to hate it, you know.
We've had 2 weekends of rehearsals. Last weekend, I think it's safe to say we were all a bit
whiffy,
down in the dumps after that. But after today,
yeah,
not so bad.
I don't mind you guys.